Is there a third way for sexless marriage among empty nest middle-aged people? Physical contact, tender care, and mutual support can also maintain a sense of intimacy between each other. Whether there is love or not, your feelings will give you the answer. If a person is good at everything and is completely obedient to you, even if you are unreasonable, he will still obey you, but he will not touch you. Do you want such a partner? I have seen this sentence: in marriage, if there is sex, then sex only accounts for 10% of the marriage. If there is no sex, then sex accounts for 90% of the marriage. Many couples end up breaking up, either because of domestic violence, cheating, or because of a sexless marriage. The scariest thing about a sexless marriage is not that there is no sex. Talking about sex is shameful. Chinese people are almost embarrassed to talk about it, and it is even more difficult to discuss the sexual life issues in their marriage with others. In the TV series She Shines, the plot of Jing Jili's one-year sexlessness, which led to the failure of her marriage, aroused great resonance among the audience. At the peak of her career, she married her husband Wang Liren, and they had a son. The husband worked hard to make progress. After getting married, he opened a company and his career flourished. However, their 30s are the golden period of life. They have a harmonious family and material wealth, and should have lived a happy life. But her husband's frigidity made Jing Jiki extremely uneasy, and she worried about whether her husband had changed his mind all day long. They haven't had sex in over a year. Due to the huge work pressure, my husband is always busy with work and meetings after returning home every day, and does not sleep tiredly in the study until late at night. Jing Jiki tried various methods, put on sexy pajamas, sprayed on perfume, and tried her best to please her husband. But the other party turned a blind eye to her and even mercilessly accused her of disturbing her work. The long-term sexless life made her anxiety grow like poisonous weeds in her heart, which also made the gap between the two people deeper and deeper. The biggest tragedy of a sexless marriage is that, except for this, everything in life seems to have no big problems. Even in the eyes of outsiders, you are still an enviable model couple. But for you, that's a huge question mark. What followed was unbearable suffering and torture. No kisses, no hugs, no sex, only the embarrassment, frustration, and unbearability after being rejected. You have no place to talk, and you are even too embarrassed to express your words. The question is, what is the difference between denying sex and abuse? What's even more frightening is that the greatest pain in this kind of life is not just asexuality, but the hidden meaning behind asexuality. Nathaniel Breeden once said, "Sex is an expression of love, a powerful expression of our love for life, ourselves, and our partners." Sexual behavior is the premise and physiological basis of love. In a relationship between a man and a woman, if he touches you, he may not necessarily like you, but if he loves you, he will definitely touch you. 02. What's behind sexless marriage? According to Google search statistics, sexless marriage has become people's top complaint about marriage. 21,000 people search for sexless marriage every month, and the number of searches far exceeds unhappy marriage and loveless marriage. Stevens Davidowitz, 2015. The Institute of Sexuality and Social Studies of Renmin University of China also published an investigation report. Among Chinese couples, sexless marriages account for 25%. Couples experiencing sexless marriages are far more common than imagined. What exactly causes a partner's frigidity? In the final analysis, the reasons why marriage is sexless are nothing more than two situations. One is being able but not wanting to. The other is wanting but not being able. What is being able but not wanting? A friend said that she and her ex-husband had a sexless marriage. She despised him and stopped letting him touch her after giving birth. Even if he had sexual needs, she turned a blind eye and once thought that she was sexually frigid. Later, they divorced. Since they don't like each other, why did they get married? Because the marriage was decided by her mother, she felt that her ex-husband's family conditions were good. In addition, she was still young at the time and had no opinion of her own, so she got married in a haphazard manner. It wasn't until she met her current husband after the divorce that she understood that there was no such thing as frigidity. It was just a lack of love. In an interview with People, Pan Suming once announced a statistic. Only 30% of Chinese couples really love each other, and the remaining 70% do not love each other at all. Many people rush into marriage because of their parents' pressure to get married and the oppression of traditional concepts. Some people gradually develop feelings after marriage, while some people just live together and lack spiritual harmony. But for individuals with normal sexual function, if they don't have physical liking for their partner, it means they don't like it, because true love has a physiological response. As for thinking but not being able, there are many reasons. For example, life and work are too tiring, the partner's skills are not up to the mark, physiological functions are limited, past psychological trauma, etc., require specific questions and specific analysis. 03. What do couples who can't get into bed do to maintain their relationship? When encountering a loveless and sexless marriage, divorce may not be the best solution, but it may be a necessary means to achieve happiness. Many people are eager to find a way out for a sexless marriage, because in most cases, people's understanding is that it is difficult to be together without the same bed. But in the eyes of some people, having or not having sex doesn't seem to hurt their feelings. A friend said that she once teased her husband that they also had a sexless marriage, but both of them knew that it was just a joke. Although the frequency of sex in life has decreased, it is because the two of them are too busy and have no energy to take care of it. In fact, their relationship is still as deep as before, because the two are still so close, they hug and kiss whenever they want. In the 2017 program Familiar Taste 2, Chen Cage once shared a bed incident with his wife Chen Hong. Because of my heart condition, I usually can only sleep on my right side. Chen Hong is behind me. Sometimes she thinks I am asleep, so she will rub the back of my head with her hand. At this moment, I am actually not asleep, but I didn't tell her what you were doing. I felt that at this moment, she still thought of me as Chen Cage from 20 years ago, and then I also felt that she was the Chen Hong that I met 20 years ago. Many times, an involuntary habitual action will make us feel the tenderness and sweetness in the other person's heart. And in such seemingly casual moments, the depth of intimacy, peace of mind and pleasure we can experience is no less than the climax of an intimate act. As the pace of social life becomes faster and faster, work pressure and financial burdens often make people breathless. Stress and exhaustion kill the desire deep in the bones of many couples. Associate Professor Zhang Baoxing pointed out, a survey of people with asexual sexual disorders found that most of them have the characteristics of high income, high work pressure, and many social activities. And these couples often go out very early every day, and come home very late, and rarely talk to each other. In the long run, the lack of communication between husband and wife will not only greatly reduce the sexual interest of both parties, but will also easily lead to erectile dysfunction, premature ejaculation in the man, frigidity in the woman, and other sexual function decline phenomena. Similar phenomena are on the increase in urban life. For contemporary couples, the reasons for sexless marriage are not simple. There are social factors, physiological factors and psychological factors, as well as physical obstacles caused by psychological disorders. However, how can two people maintain their relationship if they can't even go to bed? Perhaps, anthropologist Helen Fisher's words in an interview with People can give us an answer. Touch of any kind stimulates the oxytocin system, making you feel deeply attached to your partner. Many details will make your relationship more stable, such as holding each other's arms when walking, sleeping on each other's arms, not using chairs with armrests, but leaning against each other on the sofa to watch TV. In fact, no matter what the marital status is, whether there is love or not is the key. If love is not felt, the marriage will face the challenge of disintegration, whether there is sex or not. Sex is the bridge between us and each other's emotional connection. But it is never the only way, nor is it irreplaceable. Perhaps, in addition to the two options of patience and divorce, there is a third way for middle-aged people to have a sexless marriage. Because physical contact, meticulous care, and mutual support can also maintain a sense of intimacy between each other. Maybe at that time, you will no longer question, can a marriage without sex continue? Whether there is love or not, your feelings will give you the answer. Alright, this part of the story ends here.
Want to know what happened next? Let's listen to the breakdown next time.